Hey guys, so this is gonna go in before our third episode. Uh, I've been in editing hell the last couple of weeks. I know it's been 2 weeks. I think it's gonna go up. I think we filmed it about 2 weeks ago today. Um, Couple of things have come up. Had to take a couple of trips. School started. It's just been a busy couple of weeks. That's not the main thing. The main thing I need you guys to know is that it's broken up. The film, the video itself, it's going to be a little bit broken up. It's going to be spots where we skip. The audio is going to be off for a good portion of it. And the reason being, and thank you Sideways for catching this, but I didn't have enough room on my computer, which is what we're filming this on. I didn't have enough room on my computer, and it didn't save correctly. It corrupted the files. Again, thank you Sideways for not only catching it, but fixing it too. He came up with the idea to kind of fix it through some extra software that we bought. So we have no more corrupt film. We can actually use it. However, it got broken up in a couple of places. The audio's off. So this is just going to be a really shitty one. We have episode 4 in the works. And then we're filming episode 5 tonight. Either way, everything else is back on track. I have enough room on my computer nowadays. I figured that out. But yeah, just a warning before you guys watch this that, sorry. Anyway, enjoy the video. Hey guys, BS Squared Gaming here, back again for our third week. Love and life. Anyway, we're going to introduce ourselves once again. Starting from left to right, we have...
I'm Sideways.
My name's Brainwashed.
And Supbud21.
Supbud21. Alright, so last week we talked about our power rankings and stuff like that. This week there's been some not confirmed but developing news. We had...
Partially confirmed.
Partially confirmed.
We had Halo of Thoughts. Halo of Thoughts is a big leaker online for Twitter, mostly. He leaks a lot of things that happen. A lot of our news comes in early from him. He let go that the Valiant... Okay, well, first we saw in the Overwatch League update, we saw that Valiant moved from well, they're calling it West, but North America now to East. Okay. APAC, yeah. APAC. We're gonna call it West and East from now on, just to make it easy.
That's what they're calling it.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So we saw Halo of Thoughts say that Immortals Gaming was getting bought out by a Chinese company, and so Immortals Gaming owned Valiant. So Halo of Thoughts said that they're moving over to China, which is very interesting. It's very interesting what it means for the players, what it means for the league, just what it means for everything, really.
Yeah, because, if they do end up... And since then, obviously, the Valiant have denied those claims, but in previous experiences, from what I've seen, teams or organizations will always deny until they want to make an official announcement.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess we'll see what happens, but if that is the case, that Immortals Gaming was bought by a Chinese company, and what if they want to just drop all the players and do an all-Chinese roster?
Well, that's what it's looking like, too.
That's the thing that I heard, though, is I think it's also going to hurt them a little bit, the Chinese company, because I can't remember exactly what site I read that on, but it's saying that they don't want a whole Chinese team. They want to get, non-Chinese players for the team.
Oh, that'll definitely hurt. Well, okay, yeah. So the biggest fan base in China right now is for the Chengdu Hunters because they are all Chinese. And the Chinese people take it very... They take their, keeping it in the country, they take it very seriously, just like Paris. when Paris was just a essential European team, they had the biggest, the loudest, the biggest, the gnarliest fan base. Because that's just how Europe does it, especially Paris, or France. And China, the Chengdu Hunters were no different. They were the most popular team out there because they were mostly Chinese players. So if they don't go Chinese, it probably will hurt a lot.
Well, the way I'm looking at it is it's a lose-lose situation. Because, if they do want to do a whole Chinese roster, yeah, they're going to have their fan base there, but all those good players that definitely were overlooked in the league, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
KSP, Shax, now they have Agilities again. I mean, he's kind of not to the level he used to. Washed, yeah. But, I mean, they just picked up Adam, who was the best off-tank out of Australian contenders. It's just sucks to see. I'm not a Valiant fan, but it's wow, all those players had so much potential working on that roster. So if they move to China with all those same players, they're not going to have a fan base to back them up. Or if they do switch out to a full Chinese roster, they're going to have the fan base, but, I mean, they're going to have a fresh, new line of players who maybe don't have the experience that it takes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I mean,
you
I would
also
love
got
to
to think
see.
about the censorship too, what they want over there as well, with everything going on.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have been down for McGravy cosplay.
Oh God!
No. Maybe that's why they got rid of McGravy.
Ooh, conspiracy here.
Yeah, we can't start thinking of those.
No, it just kind of sucks.
You get
to
a
see.
random email. It's we know where you live.
Did you see the video from Paintbrush?
No, I didn't.
Did you see the video from Paintbrush on was it
No,
Paintbrush
I didn't
or
see
was
that,
it okay, Paintbrush put out a video where there's a guy holding a Nerf gun right outside of the frame, but you can see the Nerf gun, and he's and the guy with the gun goes, "Write it," and he's writing down, this rumor is completely false. We are not broke. It was a pretty funny video. But yeah, it's just kind of weird. They had that whole Hearthstone thing. I don't know if you guys saw it, but when somebody said free Hong Kong or something like that,
and the whole
they fired the
ordeal
casters.
that-
They fired, or they banned the guy from playing. It's
Well,
real
then Blizzard
gnarly.
got involved too, and
Well, that's what
Well,
Blizzard
what about
did.
that
Blizzard
whole, what
fired
about
the
that whole
casters.
movement where the Hong Kong protesters were trying to use May as one of their icons?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
May is a Chinese woman.
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
game.
So yeah, they gotta be real careful. They gotta be really, really careful. Yeah, so Valiant over to APAC, and then on the flip side of that, Spitfire came back to the West, right? So we got Valiant East, Spitfire West. That kind of leads us into our next segment where we talk about our power ranking changes.
And originally, when we needed to revise our power rankings, we thought it was because Dallas Fuel was going to go to the east.
Exactly.
But it was a total
Brian is definitely
curveball.
happy about that one. If he's safe.
I got to go up against
Hey,
Shock. I
Fusion-
got to go up
Fusion,
against...
They're definitely.
Yeah, Fusion is definitely.
probably
They were confirmed a while ago, though.
Yeah.
no. Fusion's definitely now happy that Dallas is never going to come back to them.
Yeah.
But I mean, they still got to play Shanghai and
They still got to
Seoul.
play
Seoul,
Seoul,
Yeah.
and
Exactly,
it's a
exactly like I
double-edged
said
sword. We
last
got
video,
good teams on
they're
either
hard.
side.
Yeah.
And so we'll talk about our power rankings. We'll do them in the same order that we did them last time.
We're not going to name off every single one again.
Yeah,
we're just
we're
going to
just-
name where the Valiant were and where Spitfire is going to end up now that
Yeah.
they're back.
So essentially, in let's see, in 7th and 6th, I had Atlanta Reign and Valiant. I'm going to drop Atlanta Reign up one, so they are going to be 6th. And I'm going to put the London Spitfire in the 7th position, above Houston, and again below Atlanta.
I mean, you could even read them off like top to bottom and just say the teams. You don't have to give the explanation again.
Yeah,
That way
really
we have
quickly.
the full picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so again, I have 12th Vancouver, at 11th Boston, at 10th Paris, at 9th Toronto, at 8th Houston, at 7th, that's where I put the Spitfire. At 6th, I used to have Valiant. I'm taking them out for Atlanta. At 5th, I have Washington. At 4th, I have Florida. At 3rd, I have Gladiators. At 2nd, I have San Francisco. And at number 1, I have Dallas. I think I'm going to drop San Francisco to 12th, though.
You should Salty, I called Dallas out on 4th place last.
You didn't call anybody out on anything.
Oh, he's mad.
I'm just joking. Next we're gonna have.
He's definitely mad in the last part of the video.
So for my power rankings, I had. Let's see, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I had the Valiant in 7th place, and you know what? I think that the Spitfire is going to go in 7th as well.
I think both of our explanations is, at least both of ours is because they're a team. They were a team already, as in the British Hurricane, and we see a lot of success come out of full contender team, moves.
But
they are British and not South Korean.
Well, no. It's not that. It's the British Hurricane were good. They're the best team in the EU contenders. But American Tornado stomped on them. Mm-hmm. And they're a contenders team too. Mm-hmm. So, I think they'll do decent.
But not the best.
Yeah.
So.
No, I'm going to put them under the Outlaws.
Under the Outlaw, that's interesting.
And under the Rain.
Interesting. Okay, so start numbering them off.
Okay, so at number 12 I have the Vancouver Titans. Number 11 I have Paris Eternal. Number 10 I have the Boston Uprising. Number 9 I have the Spitfire. Number 8 I have the Atlanta Rain. Number 7 I have the Houston Outlaws. Number 6 I have the Toronto Defiant. Number 5 I have the Florida Mayhem. 4 Washington Justice. 3 Dallas Fuel. Number 2 Shock. Number 1 LA Gladiators.
That sounds good.
And then, my revised ranking, I was basically the same way with everyone else. I know that they're a contenders team and all that stuff. They're getting all the new players in, but it's just they're gonna have to prove a lot for that. And I still got Vancouver Titans as 12th, Uprising 11th, Eternal 10th, 9th is Rain, 8th is gonna be Defiant, 7th I agree with Brain here. I think Spitfire is going to fall under. 6th is Justice. 5th is going to be Outlaws. Dallas Fuel is going to be 4th. 3rd is going to be Florida Mayhem. 2nd Gladiators, and 1st Shock.
Interesting. He thinks Shock's going to be at number 1. I'm a bit excited. I'm very excited. I really want this new season to start. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been excited for all seasons, but with all the new bets and just me finally meeting Brainwashed and Sideways for the first time too this year, it's gonna be finally fun to watch the season for a true fan for a true fan base, I guess.
Well, yeah, we're going to have rivalries and stuff like that. It's not just like watching the season alone.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And we're taking it seriously, right? We're taking it as seriously.
I know there were games last year where me and you'd make a day out of it. I'm like, oh yeah, Paris is playing Atlanta today.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's watch it. Or Glads are playing Atlanta today.
Yeah,
Let's watch it.
Exactly. Or, and so I'm excited this season. And actually, what I wanted to add to the first part, when we're talking about LA Valiant moving to the East, and moving to China specifically, it kind of shows that we're maturing as a sport. As much as I don't like the move to China, it shows that these teams are taking it seriously. So we see region moves when they switch owners, like we saw with the only one I really know of. Well, there's a couple, but the one that I know of the most is Clippers from San Diego to LA, Angels from Los Angeles, or Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim moving to Los Angeles from Anaheim. So they used to be the Anaheim Angels, now they're the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
And then also the Chargers, how they used to be an LA team, and they moved down to San Diego, and then they moved
now
back
San Diego,
to LA.
my hometown, doesn't have a football team anymore.
The Raiders going from Oakland to
Vegas.
Well,
they were the LA Raiders to Oakland
to Vegas, exactly.
Or the Rams being the LA Rams to St. Louis back to LA.
Exactly. it's just I'm
Dodgers from Brooklyn to LA.
Yeah, and so I'm actually kind of happy. I'm happy for the for what it means for the whole league, right? So now, not every city who doesn't have a team, they're not going to be. There's a chance that they're not going to be left out. Every major city, of course. It means that if a team goes under new ownership and they want to move cities, they can. It opens up a lot. The ramifications and the implications scream that people are now taking it seriously. This is what I wanted to see.
So my question, though, is if they're going to be moving to the Eastern Conference, why are they still representing a city in the West?
So what I think is going to happen is they're going to finally announce, and then they're going to move it to
so they'll
whatever
be like,
city.
Like the Beijing Valiant.
Exactly.
I
think something like that's going to happen.
Okay.
Again, the ramifications and the implications for both for the moves, just like I said, scream really important and actually being taken seriously. This is now sports, and we don't really see this. This is probably the biggest league, esports wise, in existence. At least the most worked on, the most pulled together, like organized and stuff like that. And if we continue growing that fan base, it doesn't matter. We have another Los Angeles team.
Yeah.
People from Oakland didn't stop liking the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it still grows that fan base, because now we're gonna if they move to a Chinese city and they become the quote Beijing Valiant, we're gonna grow that fan base more. And it makes even if I don't like China, even if I don't like them moving to China, and when I say I don't like China, I don't like the way they treat their citizens. Okay? I really don't. Nothing else that's too gnarly. It still grows the sport. It still grows the league. It's still, you know what I mean? And it just makes it a lot better, bigger. It brings us more of the game we love, and the game we love to watch, right? And that's it for roster moves, and that's it for LA Valiant. I think up next we had you talking about the no?
Don't think so. Let's see.
Do you want to talk about some of the new rookies? Maybe some you're excited for?
I mean, the top 3 rookies that I'm really excited for would be definitely Muse, now signed to the Gladiators, Mag, now on the Washington Justice, and Pelican on the Atlanta Reign.
See, I'm glad to see that there's still new names coming out for this sport, because everybody's calling it a dead sport, and that just sucks. Like, you don't ever want to hear that, but I'm glad, and of course you see people dropping like flies sometimes from the actual sport itself, i.e. Sinatra, i.e. help me out here, Surefour, i.e. Defran. Defran makes sense, though. Defran has, as much as I love him, he had mental issues that he needed, and that's why he left mostly.
Ons last week.
Ons, yeah. Hey, did you guys hear? Ons retired.
I knew the minute it came out.
Yeah, you were the one who messaged us about it, weren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I messaged you within 5 minutes, and then I got a reply back from Sideways in a matter of like 25 seconds. He was like, "All right, hold on, I need to rechange my rankings."
Power rankings.
Spit it out. Yeah, there you go.
No, and it just like, it sucks to see that happen, but I'm glad there's still people who are, well, like us. Like, I'm glad to still see that there's people who are excited for the game and ready to play. And you don't get called a shining prospect unless you're ready to actually play.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, you get stuck in contenders if you're done with the game. You're not coming out of there. Like, and the only reason you would is to stick as a contenders team, or just because they need roster filler, like some of the teams like Paris and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Like, I would much rather hear that there's people who. On top of that too, it doesn't. I'm glad to see that it doesn't scare people that we have people or teams like the San Francisco Shock out there. It's not scaring these kids who are going into contenders. Like they're like, yeah, fuck them, we can beat them. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, there's still people trying. Like even if there's a super team like Shock,
they're still trying to earn their spot on that professional Overwatch League level team.
Yeah, because they actually think they can beat them
or compete. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It makes me glad and excited for the new season, for new seasons after that. Can't wait for Overwatch 2 to drop.
That's honestly going to bring back a lot more people, I think, too, that have like thought the game died.
Yeah, exactly. It'll bring. We got a couple of new heroes. I'm ready for the new heroes. They dropped that teaser.
Wait, what about that new map that just dropped for the deathmatch? What about that?
Oh yeah, that one's beautiful. It's a real beautiful map. I haven't explored it too much.
The artwork is amazing. The game design of the map is really nice. Like, you have so many different hallways. You have different covers, everything. You can always hide behind, try to get around to get a drop on the enemy. And also, I just really like that it's based off. Finally, we get like a, another like deathmatch one instead of using the same ones over and over again when you're going into like a. Hey, I'm going into quick play, I'm going into competitive, and it's the same maps over and over again when you're trying to searching for a map.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the modified deathmatch maps. Like like you said, we already play these maps, and when we're waiting for a game, which is when we play deathmatch the most. When we're waiting for a game, I mean, we want to see something new. We don't want to go on Hollywood, play Hollywood as much as we love Hollywood. I don't want to go on Hollywood and deathmatch and then immediately go to Hollywood. You know how much that would screw up like gameplay wise, because on one you're messing around playing Echo or something like that. Like something like let's say
Hog.
Exactly. Let's say I'm playing Hog, and when I'm gonna go in and play DPS, like I'm gonna play the map completely different.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna.
Another thing too is that it's just nice that they're adding more deathmatch maps, because it's like you can only play Petra or Chateau Guillard or Paris many times. You know what I mean?
So many times.
Exactly. And I like it because I like the new deathmatch maps, because it's really ugly when they cut off a section to a regular map. Like in Paris, when you go up to the the second point, where you first come in after taking first point, like it's ugly to see that X out, like you can't go this way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, no shit,
Sherlock.
Sherlock.
That's why I really like the Black Forest German deathmatch map.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that map.
That one's way smaller.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's why they don't play that in regular deathmatch.
It's only 3v3s. Just like Eco Point.
But it's so cool though. It's just like one of those things of like, hey, this is the type of stuff that we kind of want.
Yeah, exactly. We want new content. Well, of course we want new maps, as long as they're not 2CP or Control Point, even though he likes Control Point.
I don't mind it. I mean, I'd rather play Payload, but...
Yeah, I would much rather see new maps that we can play in competitive, but at the same time, they don't have like the greatest track record with new maps.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's see. What were all the post-release maps?
Busan, Junkertown,
Paris.
And,
Horizon Winter Colony,
Blizzard World. Oh, we hate Blizzard World, by the way. Some people like it. It's a good quick play map, but as far as a serious map, we hate it.
It's a cool map. It's a cool idea. Just the gameplay sucks.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. Not today, but we'll get into that. But yeah, so
was that all 5 of the, or was there any more?
No, there was
Busan.
We already said Busan.
Anyway, either way,
go ahead and keep talking. I'm gonna think.
And two out of the 5 that we've talked about so far aren't even in competitive anymore, and I definitely don't like one of them. I don't like Busan either. So Blizzard World and Busan. Havana and Rialto.
Yep.
And Rialto.
Okay, so they're coming up, but again, it's over half. It's over half of the new maps that have come out. I don't like personally.
Jeff Kaplan, take out Temple of Anubis and trade it in for a different control point.
Well, what other control point?
Or just take control point out in general.
Yeah. Control point out. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a terrible game mode. It harbors nothing but but
Pain and suffering for
pain
both
and
sides.
Yep.
Pretty much every time we talk about a control point in this little series that we got going on with the maps and stuff like that,
It's
we're
going to be
not gonna
negative.
like it. Yeah. I think the only control point that at least me and him, me and Sideways have a little respect for is
Hanamura.
Hanamura.
Just because it's a beautiful map.
Yeah, it's a beautiful map, and the gameplay is not terrible, but at the same time, the game mode itself is just trash. Just in general, like it harbors again nothing but pain, suffering, and draws. Like no matter what side you're on, unless you absolutely stomp. Yeah. Oh God.
SimT's P strat number 1
Yep.
We'll get into it.
always works.
May and Sim. We'll get into it. But yeah, like I love to see new maps, and like I was saying, I would love to see more competitive gameplay maps. But maps in general, it just means that they're still working on the game. It just means that they're still serious about the game as a developer, which I think they are. I think they make it pretty apparent.
Well, plus Blizzard's like one of those companies that like they're pretty much the GOAT because they give out all their content for free.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been doing that
that's
for
the shit I
a
love.
long time.
Oh, and then we see Treyarch doing it now.
Oh well, yeah,
or
but I mean, like everything's
Activision.
going free to play nowadays. Just because
Yeah, exactly.
since Fortnite came out and they had that whole, the season pass thing,
Yeah.
their battle pass, like they're like, oh, well, we could just make money by people buying the battle pass.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then all the maps and all the content
But
come out
to
for
be
free.
But to be fair, and we'll talk about this one week, the new COD Zombies, they're making all the new DLC free.
Yeah, I knew that was going to be a thing.
Yeah,
Really?
I think that was in their announcement. Yeah.
I want to see that then. I want to see
Yeah,
that.
that's the kind of shit we love. That's the kind of shit we crave, right? Like that's like
Especially
zombies maps.
Ever since Zombies World at War, you had to pay for the other maps and the DLC maps.
All the way through Black Ops 4.
Yeah, all the way through Black Ops 4. Which to
I will
be
say
fair,
I will say Black Ops 3. The good buying of the maps was the revisions for Black Ops 3.
are you talking about all the old maps coming back?
Yeah, like the
Chronicles.
old maps that were like remade. Yeah, those ones were so much fun.
To be fair, I probably would pay if they made all the DLC. You have to pay for it. I'd probably pay because the zombies maps are really good. Like very rarely do you get one that's like so terrible it's unplayable. Only really in Black Ops.
Der
4.
Eisendrache is the best map.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I might give it to Revelations, but it's in contender.
Oh, Revelations. Yep, I agree.
No, you guys are wrong. Only because.
I love Revelations.
Okay, well look at it this way.
I love that.
I'm sorry. I know this is an Overwatch video, but I need to get into this right now.
No,
The only reason-
we're a gaming channel,
Yeah, I
so
guess that's
talk
true.
about it,
Well,
dude.
Okay, so the only reason why Revelations is in so many people's heart is just because of the nostalgia factor. Take away the nostalgia, and people will be like, "This is a shitty map." Because like, look,
because
you have
together the final. It brings together the final battle of the.
and it
players.
was
Like,
so bad. The boss fight was so
It
bad.
brings the story together as the final ending.
No, it didn't, because Black Ops 4 is a thing.
Sorry, Black Ops 4. Okay, the Omega Alpha map from Nuketown. That was garbage in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think
I didn't even really play the Black Ops 4 maps. I'm just saying,
Wait. What's the one with the staffs?
that's Origins.
Okay, so
Origins.
just kidding. I didn't mean Revelations. I meant Origins. I think Origins is more in the contender for the best map.
Yeah, what are you talking about Revelations for?
No, not Revelations. But if you like Revelations, that's fine too. I can understand why you
Revelations.
like Revelations.
I enjoyed it the first time that I played it, and then like after I got to like the 5th time, I'm like, okay, this is a pretty bad map. I loved it at first just because of the nostalgia, seeing Kino again, and like walking through Shangri-La and walking through the Origins, like No Man's Land and stuff like that. But it's like now that Chronicles is out, it's like I could just go play those maps. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
bet
That
you were
makes a lot
salty
of
because
sense.
you just couldn't find the Easter egg.
I did the Easter egg the first day.
People find those Easter eggs, man.
No,
They're
actually, I'm
finding-
lying. I'm lying. I didn't do the Easter egg the first day because I remember people were looking for it for weeks or months.
Yeah.
That one was hard.
There were people on Twitch who had like timers set for how long they were trying to find it for, and yeah, it was insane.
No, it's crazy with the Easter egg hunting is really interesting to see because they'll get them like they'll upload or they'll update. I think for this one for Cold War they updated What was the last one that came out? Not Cold War, but the one right before it, last year's
Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 2019. They updated a map in Modern Warfare 2019, and they put an Easter egg in it, and so you had to play MW19 to like look for this Easter egg, and then it translated into I think the end result was the Cold War website saying it was going to be up. And I remember
it was in Warzone.
Yeah,
it was in Warzone, and you had to go find this Easter egg, and then like you went to it was pawntakespawn.com, and that was the whole Easter egg hunt for Call of Duty Cold War to find the release date and the zombies mode and stuff like that. That was really.
It was fucking really crazy to log into a live stream. I think.
Well, yeah, and just like watching them do it, you're like, how do you guys come up with this?
Yeah, exactly. And then to hear like the next day, because I don't really like watching live streams all too much, but to like hear the next day, oh, they found it. You're like, wow, oh shit, they take this shit seriously.
Yeah.
Like they take it very, very seriously. Yeah, we're me and Sideways are big Zombies fans, and we're playing the new one. The new one is really good.
Yeah, it's not Black Ops 3 tier, but it's definitely solid.
It's
it's
better than 4.
I definitely enjoy it. It's a little different, a little bit the same.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not bad.
I saw that the
I
zombies
didn't
have
log
health
off
bars
immediately.
now.
What's that?
I saw that the zombies have health bars now.
Yeah,
that's in the negative. Portion, like if we were to say positives and negatives, the health bars for the zombies are in the negatives, but the positives, I feel, outweigh the negatives.
But, I mean, look at it this way. If they have health bars, you know that if you're going to kill it with a grenade or not if you're trying to make a crawler.
Exactly.
I can't say much about the game because I've yet to play it, but as soon as I get a PS5, I'm getting it because I've been wanting to play the campaign. It looks incredible.
Well, you can download the game from you can get a PS4, PS5 version. So
yeah, and it's like $10 more. You can play it on your PS4 and you automatically have it on your PS5 when you get a PS5.
If you want to think about it, if you got it's like $75.
No, I think it's cheaper.
Don't have that type of money right now.
Nobody has that type of money right now.
75.
Why do you think we're doing these videos? Anyway,
we're not getting paid.
So we get sponsored by Cheez-Its Grooves.
Crunch time, baby! Cheez-Its Grooves. Look it. They got Lucio and Tracer right there. These are the Overwatch League ones, and you can win signed player cards. Birdring, if you're watching, I would love one. Do you want to request a card to anybody?
XC or Sparkle. He's scaring me.
Violet, mine please.
I didn't ask you.
No.
You're a Dirty Shock fan.
Violet.
Dirty Shock fan. Really, Violet?
You got Moth. You should be happy.
Violet falls asleep during the like the reviews they have.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Super straight up called him out on it. He falls asleep during the reviews and shit, like when they're watching, and there's pictures of him, and he's just asleep on the couch as they're reviewing their gameplay. Violet's lazy as fuck, dude.
Violet, I think it was Violet. Yeah, Violet, they just recently did a, well, I don't know how recent it was, never mind. Anyway, it was on Super's stream, and Super they did a San Francisco Shock 1v1 tournament, and I think Violet won the last one. Jake
was that when they had Jake?
I remember
playing with them?
Yeah. Jake went farther than I was expecting.
See, I tuned into that, and I was like thinking, oh my god, are they thinking about getting Jake as a signed player to Shock? And I was watching, I was like, oh wait, no, this is just a 1-in-1 thing.
And I love how Super was just calling Jake out the entire time, like, oh, you're washed, you're too washed to be a player, now you're a caster, blah blah. And Jake beat Super.
Yeah, well, it's Super. Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? I mean, I love the guy, but yeah, there's sometimes an ego above that large head of his.
The large head of his. That's great. Anyway, yeah. So if you guys want to hear us talk about COD, COD Zombies, the maps,
any other games too,
dude, just let us know. I know I'm posting all this on Reddit. Yeah, so
we'll do that one.
They're more into things like Ratchet and Clank, which we have them back here.
Too, of course.
I didn't play too much. I could maybe talk
3
about
was the best.
Which one?
3? Up your arsenal?
I would have to say going Commando.
The Going Commando was pretty good.
Going
So,
Commando.
Acceptable.
but we'll talk about these. Let us know, and we'll talk about these. I played more Nintendo games, and I can talk about stuff like Pokemon, Mario. I can't play Legend of Zelda. I'm terrible at that game. I couldn't even come close to finishing it.
I mean, I
It's
can
so
talk
sad.
about Pokemon with you.
Yeah, we can talk about. Me and him can talk about Pokemon Go. That's what we've been doing all day.
My whole generation was a PS2 to PS4, so anything with
Well,
those games,
I had the
I'll be
PS2.
happy to-
I had the N64, the GameCube. I want to say we had the PS2, then the PS3, and then the the PS4, obviously.
I mean, I could even talk about Xbox exclusives.
Halo and
Gears of War, baby!
Gears of War. Wasn't Gears of War on
No.
PS4 too?
Xbox only,
Maybe I played that on Parker's
probably.
Xbox. Anyway, I mean, we got games we can talk about, man. My favorite single player games, which I don't play too many single player games, but it was like Assassin's Creed 2 and 3.
Oh, yeah.
I love those games.
Well, you're talking about Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, right? Not Assassin's Creed 3, the Colonial America one.
No, yeah, I like that one.
Colonial America was awesome.
Yeah, I actually
was
liked that
okay.
one. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't
I
as
like
good
Black
as
Flag
2.
more.
I played a little bit of Black Flag. Black Flag was one.
sailing.
It was good.
Too much sailing.
See, I liked that. 'cause
7
I'm
out
an
of
ocean
10.
guy.
I don't like
much
that. I
fun.
don't like just sitting. I don't
I'm
like
a
sitting-
captain for a reason.
I don't like sitting on my bed with a controller just blatantly staring at it while you're like sailing slowly down the fucking sea.
That's fair.
I liked
Yeah.
I liked Black Flag.
I
I didn't
just
get to
like
play the whole
pirates.
thing, but when I did play it, yeah, we can talk about. I mean, we can talk about early days of Fortnite. We played in the early days of Fortnite.
I tried
Now
playing
we
it once
wouldn't
and I
even
did not
touch
like
it.
I don't like player versus like player when it comes to like that big of a portion when it comes to like,
Battle
maps and
Royale?
everything.
Well, I can
Battle
talk
Royale.
about I can talk about COD Mobile. And I'm actually really good at COD Mobile. I haven't lost a Warzone on COD Mobile in months.
Keep in mind, he's never played Warzone, so he's never lost.
Well, no, the Warzone version. The what did they call it? What did we just call it? The anyway, that type of
Battle
game.
Royale?
Battle Royale. Yeah, I haven't lost a COD Mobile Battle Royale in months.
Because you haven't played it.
On the phone?
Yeah, you haven't played it.
I have been playing it.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
That's why he hasn't lost.
No,
Alright,
I
boys.
haven't lost because
I
I'm
think-
great.
I think what we need to do is save this beautiful content. Content.
Spit it out. Come on.
Yeah, we'll save it for
content
another
later.
day.
Go back to our league updates about what's going on with Owl.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about in this section we talked about Valiant going over to China possibly, maybe. Then we talked about our roster updates. We talked about the new people coming in, new faces. Then we got into a little bit of games that we can cover. You guys just need to let us know. In the next section, we are going to go over some of the league updates that came out yesterday for us, probably a week ago for you guys, depending on how long it takes me to edit. And then we'll wrap it up with talking about the map we have on screen right now, which is Route 66. All right, guys.
Best maps.
So we'll
Haven't
see
lost
you.
on that map in a while.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say that.
Well, we've got to knock on wood now.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, shit.
Oh no, clink.
Clink.
Yeah, so in the next section, guys, we'll talk about all that stuff. Again, leave comments down below if you guys want to hear about a specific game. We'll probably talk about it unless it's so just out there that we have no clue what the fuck you're talking about.
I mean, we'd even try it.
We could even,
I'd be
yeah,
down to
exactly. I'd
just
be
try
okay
the
to
games.
buy a game
Yeah.
and play it. I haven't done that in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we'll see you guys in the next section. Hey guys, we're back with our second segment here. In this segment, we're going to talk about Overwatch League updates, what we think about them. There's a couple of good ones in my opinion. Nothing really bad came out of it except for the LA Valiant switching over to East. But we're going to have Suppa talk about that, and then we're going to collectively talk about Route 66. All right? Suppa, go ahead, take over.
So we got some good
Might
news.
lose a
starting
few
with,
brain cells here.
We're gonna start with some good news out of season 4. It's gonna start a lot earlier than we anticipated. It's gonna be in April, which is awesome.
Yeah,
and
hell
then
yeah,
we're gonna
dude.
see. Yeah, and then we're going to see a lot of playing time as the season is supposed to end in September. So hopefully we get to see a lot of Overwatch and all of its beautiful content that the league can bestow upon us, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's going to end in September. There's going to be a big gap between the final qualifying, which we'll talk about, and the playoffs and stuff like that. But yeah, like I'm ready for it to start, and April sounds good. Do I want it to start earlier? Yeah. Do I want it to start yesterday? Yeah. But we can't get everything we asked for. They're having a hard time with all the COVID stuff and stuff like that.
Well, and a lot of the new stuff that they're implementing too.
Yeah, exactly. So
which actually is pretty cool because they're bringing back new tournament-based rankings for it. They're gonna have 4 individually. They're gonna have 4 different power rankings for the tournaments, and it's gonna be awesome because I've always loved the tournaments because it gives an edge to opponents that need it. And when you win the tournament, you get bonus points, you get extra money, extra funding for your group, and new players with that signing for the bonuses and all that. And yeah, I think tournaments are always going to be a great thing for the Overwatch League.
And so what he was saying is there's going to be in the stages, it's going to be the qualifyings, and then for the end of the stage, it's going to be another tournament. They did it last season. I feel like it was a little disorganized. They had like the May Melee and the Summer Showdown and stuff like that.
The Countdown Cup. And
the Countdown Cup. I feel like it was a little disorganized last season. I didn't really understand what was going on, and I didn't really get to watch all of it. Obviously, this season I'm going to take it way more seriously. Come hell or high water, I'm watching the tournaments. I'm watching the qualifying. Like I'm going to try to watch everything I can, so I know exactly what I'm talking about for you guys. And I think these guys are going to, try their hardest to, on a personal level, they work a lot fucking more than I do. He's a boat captain and, he works like 40 hours a week or some shit like that. Like they work a lot. I don't work as much. I do work outside of this. I consider this work. So, I'm hoping that we get, all of us get to watch as much as we can. That way we can bring you guys really good content, really good takes on shit. And I want to see.
Good news is I can watch the league. I can watch the league during work time.
Hell yeah!
Nice.
Yeah. And so yeah, what were we talking about? So yeah, last season it was a bit disorganized. I was working a lot, doing other stuff. I worked at the gas station for a while, and it was too hard to watch it. But this season I'm hoping that I can get a good showing, like a good watching in, because like we said, last season it was kind of it was just kind of like pulled back very much.
You gotta admit, like last season was like sort of like a trial and error. You saw the positives, and like this year they seem like they really know like what they want to do, and they can make it a lot better.
Yeah, exactly. They're bringing it all together right now. Like it's all coming together, and I mean. If they want to keep it this way, well, we're gonna have to see how it looks at the end of the season. But if it works out and they want to keep it East-West, I'm okay with it because it adds more. Like it gives the ability to add more teams, less travel, which I'm perfectly okay with. If there's less travel, there's less player fatigue, which means better games, which we ended up seeing last season. We thought, oh shit, like I think the Washington Justice. No, they had the least amount of travel. One of the teams had just like the most travel like ever. Like they were doing it every week. They were going somewhere new, and it looked like hell for them. I can't remember, and I'm sorry, but
it sounds like an Apex team.
Well, this was before they split up into East West. This was before COVID and stuff. I think it was the Plat Chat who did the math, and one team. And again, this is Plat Chat from last year, so that's why I can't remember it, and I'm not going back that far to go look. But they had one team who was traveling like every week, meaning like even if they had a home game, the next week they were somewhere else. Then they were coming back for a home game, then somewhere else, then somewhere else, then somewhere else, then back for a home game, and that just looked like hell. And it was kind of the issue in Season 1, too, where they had every team, which was, granted, it was 12 teams, but they had every team playing. Do you remember that?
12 or 14 teams?
It was 12 teams.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 12 teams. Or was it 14 teams?
I thought it was 14.
Well, let's see. Chengdu Hunters, Hangzhou Spark,
Paris Eternal,
Paris
Atlanta Reign.
Eternal, Atlanta Reign. That's 4.
Mm-hmm. There's 2 more,
Um,
at least.
Seoul Dynasty.
yeah.
Guangzhou Charge.
Seoul was in season 1. Guangzhou Charge.
Oh yeah.
And there was one more. So maybe there was 14 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were playing every team. So
Toronto
14
Defiant.
Toronto Defiant. Yeah. So every team was playing one match a week, which is, and some of them were playing 2 matches a week. Yeah, it was hell. That's hell when you're playing, every day almost, on top of scrims, on top of practicing solo. Like when I say solo, I mean with the team, right? Like, so you got scrims, you got practice, and you got the actual games. And when I say scrims, I mean they scrim. There's like 40 hours of scrimming a week. They have to. And when I say scrims, I guess again, we're talking practice with other teams, practice with contenders teams, practice. This is just this is matches that they play, like simulating the next week.
Even when they play solo on their Twitch accounts, they're still going at it.
Yeah, they're still streaming, which I commend a lot. But in season 1, it led to a lot of burnout. Effect was probably one of the biggest ones.
Mm-hmm.
Pine,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple more that just left during season 1 because it was just too much. Season 2, they slowed it way down in season 2, and then in season 3, for obvious reasons, they had to slow it down even more. Which again, I'm okay with because player fatigue is just the worst. Like you don't want to deal with player fatigue. What were we talking about?
He's doing the
different rounds for the playoffs and everything.
Yeah, so they're going to be playing these qualifying rounds, and then it leads into tournaments at the end, and hopefully it's a bit more organized.
Which is awesome. Which I was about to get to is that not only are they going to now have the teams together for the final round in the tournament, but that is also going to help with a minimum with the minimum ping, because I remember that last season some teams were like playing with higher ping than others, and it caused some like confusion and like frustration with some people, with some players, because they're like, hey, you got a bigger you got it harder to play on, while other teams are like playing with the normal normal, I guess.
Yeah, and that was more shown in specific players. Fielder is a big one that comes to mind, playing on 200 ping, probably being the best or second best off support. But now once he plays with the minimum latency is what they're calling it. It's a minimum latency rule. So they're gonna analyze what they're doing on what server they're doing it on, how close they are, and stuff like that. They're gonna implement minimum latency. I don't know what that looks like as far as like, okay, so if you go above that latency, it stops the game. If it does, that would suck, because if one player, like if the minimum latency is 100 and one player just spikes 101 at one point, are they going to stop the whole damn match? So as far as logistically, I don't know how that's going to work, but in theory, it sounds good, because it means players like Fielder. There was somebody on the Vancouver Titans,
KSA.
Yeah, KSA, and many other players who were playing because of COVID, their home country, playing with European teams, North American teams. It just stops that kind of stuff from happening, and it makes the game quality overall better. So I'm excited for the new minimum latency rules that they're putting in.
Yeah.
Yeah, on to the next one, or?
Yeah, no, and what, the one that I'm very, very excited for, which finally, I feel like as an Overwatch fan, you can also be excited for this, the YouTube rewards program. So last season, they started implementing a new thing where if you turn into the Overwatch League and you sign into your account, you will get tokens to buy the Overwatch League skins. Which,
well, it wasn't just implemented last season. They had it before when they were still licensed with Twitch.
Yeah, season 1. In season 1, they had it with Twitch, yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. Well, I thought it only happened last season. Fuck.
No.
Well, Well, it's awesome because it's a way for people to tune in, also get rewards, and you can save up to get all the skins you really want, based on your team, and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and it's cool because now they're finally trying to work it out because last season so many people were complaining about, hey, I can't log into my account. Hey, how do you sign up for this? Hey, why isn't my tokens registering or anything like that? And so
Yeah.
if they really fix that, I think a lot more people will tune into it and be like, hey, cool, now I can, instead of paying $5 for a skin, for 2 skins, I can now get as many as I want as long as I watch the league. And I think that's a really cool thing that they want to promote for it again.
Yeah, exactly. One thing we did skip over really quickly from the last set of rules that we heard was they're going to be mixing. From what I heard, they're going to be mixing the tournaments East and West. So that means at the end, after the quali, no, it's okay. I thought we're going to go over it one more time. That's my bad. After the qualifying, when they all come together, just like in the finals last year, at least from what I heard, from what I understood, they're bringing East and West together in those tournaments, which means we do get to see both sides.
And there will be one winner per tournament.
Yeah, exactly.
It won't be like, oh, there's a North America winner for that tournament and an APAC, because now it's East and West, and they're bringing them together. From my understanding,
which is perfectly fine with me. Yeah, it's interesting. And then on top of that, again, what I was saying before about this sport being taken seriously, now we're seeing conferences essentially. We were seeing conferences in the first season. We were seeing them being explored in the second season, where you had like Atlantic West or Atlantic East or not. Yeah, something like that. Atlantic South, Atlantic North, stuff like that. These conferences, and then you saw them kind of really expanded in the third season because of COVID. Well, and before that, when they were trying to implement, home games and away games, you see that that idea of conferences and stuff like that expanded on really well because you have to go all over the world, right? And these players have to play in certain conferences, and there's crossplay, just like with baseball. There's like help me out here, West, Midwest, Mideast.
Well, they have like the American National Leagues.
American and National Leagues,
Well,
and then they have certain regions that play.
America and Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is funny because the Blue Jays are part of the American League.
Right, Toronto Blue Jays, and they're still it's so weird, but
again, it kind of bolsters the idea that this is an actual sport, like I was saying before. Like it boosts that idea that this is an actual sport and should be taken seriously. And I mean, 20 teams is nothing to laugh at. There's plenty of other teams in other sports, but like more, but there's not too many more. And
then also it's just more that like when the other sports, like take hockey or football for example, like there's 31 hockey teams, 32 soon with Seattle, but I mean like they have, hockey's a good analogy because if you take all the Canadian teams and then like take all of like the non-American Overwatch League teams, it's about the same. You know what I mean? Like you have your 6 or 7, I keep forgetting, don't hate me for this. But it's like you have like a set number of Canadian teams, and it's significantly more than in like baseball, basketball, football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think there's one Canadian team in baseball. I don't think there's any Canadian teams in basketball or football.
Toronto Raptors.
Oh, okay. So one in basketball.
I don't think football.
No, nothing in football. Everything's American.
America.
And I mean, we're seeing an expansion even more from Overwatch League. I mean, we have teams in China, we have teams in Europe, 2 teams in Europe, we have teams in Canada, 2 teams in Canada. The majority of our teams, well, even right now, the majority of our teams are sitting in America, but it's pretty close. Like China's pretty close, right? They got 4 teams there.
Chengdu, Hangzhou,
Guangzhou, and Shanghai.
Yeah, they have 4.
So they got 4 there, and we have they're pretty close to the same amount. Even if I don't like the Chinese government, they're pretty close to the same amount in America, right? Like we see it growing in more regions, even bigger. It's not like,
I mean, I say they have a significant amount. I wouldn't say they're close to the amount in America.
Well, how many is there in America? There's
at least like 12, I'd say.
12.
Yeah, America has a large
Dallas, New York, both okay. Anyway, we'll figure
2
it out.
LA, San Francisco.
Maybe not LA.
Well, we're counting it right now.
Okay.
2 LA, San Francisco, 2 Texas,
Okay.
New York, Philly,
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
No,
So
Philly went to
They're
Yeah, but
still called the
gonna
Philadelphia
be. Yeah,
Fusion.
they're not going to be Soul.
That's true.
They're not going to be Soul Fusion.
Yeah.
Washington,
Florida Mayhem
Florida.
I think that's it.
and
Nope,
hold on.
that's it.
I gotta prove you wrong here.
I'm pretty
Hold
sure
on.
that's
I
it.
got it. Do we say Justice?
We said Justice.
Uh,
I'm fairly certain it's 10. Well, let's do it. Let's do it this way. How many are in the? How many are in the?
Power rankings.
The APAC, the East. How many are in the East? There's 8 teams
3.
in the East.
New York, Philly.
No,
LA.
I'm saying in general.
Oh, 8.
8 teams in the East.
Yeah.
And that's everybody.
Yeah,
Everybody
isn't there-
who's in China.
Isn't there 22 teams in
There's-
the whole division?
No, it's 20.
20.
It's 20 teams. So there's
20.
8 teams. There's 8 teams in the
In the East.
East.
And that's the 4
all
Chinese
but-
teams.
yeah,
and
all but-
Seoul.
Yeah,
And
all
then the
but
3
2 of them.
American teams.
Yeah, all but 3 American teams.
Yeah, New York, Philly, LA.
New York, Philly, LA. Okay, so there's
So we have
3
12
there.
then.
I'm pretty sure we just have 10.
We have 12.
No, because we have no Asian team, or we have no Asian specific
Shock,
teams. On the,
Gladiators, Florida Mayhem, Dallas Fuel, Outlaws, Justice, Spitfire, Defiant.
No,
Reign.
that's London. That's
Spitfire is
London.
London.
Fuck.
London, yeah.
Yep, sorry.
We do have 10.
Well, still,
yeah,
4 is
Reign,
not as close
4
to
is
as many
almost
as
half.
10. Yeah, that's not
Half's
close
a
to
lot.
how many America
We're
has.
talking about.
He said, "Oh yeah, China has almost as much as the American team."
They're coming up on half. Name any other region that doesn't that has that many.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, like they have the most the most teams that's not America, but
Yeah.
it's not.
And where do you
close
think
to
most of
10.
the teams are going to come from later on during the league?
That was
They're gonna
did you
come from
get
China.
Boston Uprising?
No, I didn't. 11.
Okay, so 11. That's it. Anyway, where were we?
I like to forget about the Boston Uprising.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, same here. Don't
They're a
worry.
pretty
I'm just-
forgettable team. And so and so we see rising that region rising, and that's what I love to see. I'd love to see talent getting spread out.
I think there's going to be
Um,
more Korean teams
If
they expand.
they expand, yeah, I would hope they would because the Koreans probably produce the most players.
Yeah.
I would love to see them expand.
Because they only have Seoul.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which I think is a
I
travesty.
think, I don't know. I think Philadelphia. I mean, I think Philadelphia. I think that'd be a cool name under South Korea. But honestly, at the same time, I kind of like their name right now.
I think they should just stick in Philadelphia. I think they're only doing this right now to move over because they're cowards.
Yeah,
Well, the
which
funny thing
sucks
is that they're
because
not really
they're-
getting away from anything.
They're
They're
not.
get away
They're afraid of the North American teams, but now they're going to go against some of the most top contenders of the whole entire
Well,
league.
that's not even what I'm talking about. Like Philly's going to play their qualifying matches in the East, and then when tournament comes along, they're going to
They're
have
still
to
gonna
play
have
the
to go against
West.
the West, right?
Exactly.
Like if that's how it is supposed to be, done. Yeah, they're gonna have to play against the West anyway.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, it's not like their players like Spitfire or New York. Well, New York to an extent. It's not like their players are not used to being over here. Shit, the Philadelphia Fusion have been in America. You know, Carpe.
Poco.
No, I'm talking their Korean players. I guess they're.
Oh,
I guess
so I
it's
thought you were
way
talking about
down
the
there.
Fury.
whole. I thought you were talking about the whole
They're off the
roster.
team now.
Well, I mean,
I'm talking about right this second. Right this second, they have Carpe. Any other Korean players?
Fuck,
Maybe
there's one, but I can't. remember.
Alarm.
Thank you.
They're
Damn. That,
and they're actually. It's not like they're New York and uprooting their entire team because their entire team is South Korean. They're mostly Western players. I.e., Eco, Funny Astro, Shockwave now. That's so weird. They're uprooting their entire team just to go to South Korea because it's easier. I highly doubt it's easier too. I really,
but the sideways though is that it's not because now they got to face everybody in the tournament. Maybe
they
maybe
still have
Jeff
to
was like,
face
no.
everybody.
Maybe Jeff was like, hey, you can't leave.
I don't know. How much do you think that Jeff has to do with the league?
Jeff has to do nothing with the league. He's
Yeah.
not part of the
Nothing.
league.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's-
all he does is just make he just makes the product. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the inventors of baseball probably didn't have anything to do with the Major
MLB.
League Baseball.
It's basically all the same company, but it's of a different
different
it's like a-
region,
vein of it. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, so now we're on to the YouTube partnership thing and the YouTube program where you get all the tokens and stuff. I remember watching it on Twitch, and I wasn't a huge in the first season at the very least. I wasn't a huge live watcher. Me and him went to a couple of games. I think in the first season, one in the first season, one in the second season, right?
I think we went to 2 in the first season.
2 in the first
I
season.
could be wrong though.
Either way, when they were at the Blizzard Arena in Burbank, we went for sure. That dude's got cake.
That was
Or
his brother.
explain it,
That was
yeah.
his brother talking about Raucus.
Yeah.
When the players would walk up through the middle of the row and like
then,
everybody's high-fiving him, you know.
Yeah.
And his brother is sitting next to me.
Now my brother's a normie. He doesn't really play. Like he plays, but he's not into it like we
Yeah,
are.
like he
So
doesn't really
he's-
support, follow the teams or the league or anything.
Yeah,
but
he's
he just kind of came
he's
along.
having
'cause
a
he-
good time. Yeah.
Anyway, Raucus walks up past us and starts walking up the stairs to the stage, and his brother just goes, "Whoa, that dude's got cake."
Yeah. Raucus is thick. In a very serious way. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. Anyway, and man, I really miss those games.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad they're not the Blizzard Arena because that means that we can expand more. But we can still go see the Gladiators play
Yeah,
and stuff like
absolutely.
that when everything comes back in. Not the
Especially when they
Valiant.
play against Shock. I need to see that.
Ugh.
Um,
They don't deserve to be in the same arena.
that's so fucking wrong. But
Bunch of stinky San Francisco bums.
yeah, exactly.
So
Super in
the
his
guy who just
gigantic
picked up
forehead.
our support player.
Moth was nice and dainty, okay? Moth is the opposite of Violent, who is greasy,
I don't know.
and Super, who is just
I think,
big foreheadedly.
I think Moth is nervous on his new team.
And now they got some French dude playing with his baguettes and stuff.
Oh, that's what we can talk
Sideways-
about. So Dogman had Moth on his new show,
Oh, interesting.
and Dogman was saying like, "Oh yeah, like how do you feel? Do you miss any of the Shock players?" Like, "Yeah, of course I miss those guys, but I feel really, really confident about the season." He was like, "Oh, well, how do you think you're gonna do?" And Moth was like, "Quote here, I think we're gonna do better than the Shock this season."
Not to say.
And he said the colors are better.
The colors? Well, I mean, I guess that's subjective because I like orange. I like orange better than purple.
Orange
I
and
hate
black.
orange.
Personally.
Shock is the best colors of the whole entire league. Their Overwatch
Purple and
the
black is
Overwatch
better.
The
Um,
Overwatch skins are amazing.
Okay, the one thing that I will give the Shock though is the alternate jerseys that they had with the camouflage.
Those were
were
good.
badass.
The
I
gladiator,
like
the
those.
gladiator ones are so.
Oh.
God. The Atlanta Rain ones they had, I almost grabbed.
Oh,
That peach?
the peachy.
Yeah,
color?
dude, those ones are sick.
I was thinking about getting a Paris Eternal one with a black on black.
That one was pretty cool.
I also liked the Philly Fusion ones, the one that almost looked like referee jerseys.
No, I don't like those ones.
I thought
Reminds
they
me-
were pretty
reminds
cool.
me of soccer.
That
I like
reminds
soccer
that reminds
fans.
me of old school Pittsburgh Steelers jersey, and I hate those.
Mm-hmm. It's gotta be. It's gotta
Uh-huh.
be. It's gotta be. It's gotta be a Pennsylvania thing.
Gross. Anyway, so we're going on the YouTube partnership program. Yeah, good. I watched it. I didn't watch it too much live on Twitch, but I remember logging on to Overwatch and seeing that I got tokens, and I was like, yeah, dude, badass. Like, that's fucking sick. Like, not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah, like I wanted to watch the league anyway. But
Yeah,
now you're telling
exactly.
me that because I'm watching the league, I get skins in game. Cool.
Exactly. So around the same time that we started, that we went to our first Overwatch League game is when I started taking other sports more seriously, right? Like this sport, I don't know if I've said it before, but
You
this,
did.
I did? Okay, so to reiterate, this sport got me in, this esport got me into other sports more because I started seeing the not complications, but the complexities in other sports, as I saw in this sport, right? So even though I don't play hockey or really outside of watching it cared about hockey, I could see the complexities in hockey, and also going to hockey games live is just like A1. Like we watched the Kings game last night, and the energy just wasn't the same. It's not as fun. Although the game is still fun to watch, not on TV, better than sports like the NBA. Basketball. I hate watching basketball on TV.
Yeah, but that's just preference, though. I don't enjoy basketball, but I know people who watch basketball games all the time.
Yeah, exactly. But like that energy that I feel when the complexities of the game that I feel when I watch the Overwatch League, it kind of fostered a love for other sports. Like now I can sit through a football game. Now I can sit through a hockey game. Now I can sit through the biggest one probably was the MLB, was baseball games. Like I hated going to baseball games, watching baseball games. But ever since I started watching the league, I get to see, like, and me and him talk about it too. Like you ask him when we were in senior year. Did I ever talk about baseball? Did I care? What year did I start going to the playoffs with you and watching the playoffs? It was like a year after we graduated, right?
Yeah.
A year after we graduated, after we'd gone to our first game, our first playoff game, then I started going to Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever. I'm watching the Dodgers
the World
play.
Series and stuff, yeah.
And
that would have been 2017.
Something like that,
yeah.
Right? Like, and we started talking about the complexities of the game. I started caring about the game, how Clayton Kershaw can't pitch in the finals, like he chokes.
He did, though. He did.
He finally did it.
He did.
Thank God. How Ohtani? Not Ohtani. Who was their pitcher who choked completely?
Oh, Yu Darvish?
Yeah, Yu Darvish. How Yu Darvish was doing bad. Like, I could actually see this thing.
You're walking on a slippery slope here. Because they played the Astros.
Yeah, exactly.
We know how that went.
Exactly. And then I can even talk about that, like cheating and stuff like that, because there's been cheating in esports. Not in Overwatch League specifically, but when I get into Overwatch League, I get into other esports. And
it wasn't Yu Darvish's fault.
It wasn't Yu Darvish's fault, not at all. But like that's what I'm saying. Like these sports, watching it live and on TV, there's just such an energy. Like I love watching it, even during COVID. Like I'm gonna watch them live now. Maybe not all the APAC teams, maybe not the East teams. Maybe I won't watch all the East teams. A couple of them, like if we're up late enough, if I'm up late enough, I'll watch it. But like I want to continue to watch it, and there's incentive there. We get to now get tokens and stuff. I get to get some Dallas Fuel skins. I get to get some Shock skins. I get to get some Gladiator skins. And I'm not even talking about them. I'm talking about me. I like those teams. I like their colors. I'm going to get more of them. I have a couple of Shock skins from for D.Va, and I think for one other character from their Season 1 color loadout, Supud. Back when they were orange and orange.
Orange and orange.
Yeah, orange and orange.
Yeah. Yep.
It's ugly. I'll show you my D.Va skin if we get a chance.
Awful.
Dude,
another cool thing that they're also implementing for like the people who do want to watch from APAC and you happen to live in the western regions, they have a new spoiler warning or spoiler-free feature on the Overwatch League website. So I mean, like, obviously, like if I was gonna come home and like watch a VOD from the game, it always sucked watching it on YouTube because even if I didn't know who was gonna win, I would like watch the video and let's just say, okay, I'm watching the Glads and they're up 2-0, and there's only like 20 minutes left on the playtime in the video. I'm like, oh, I guess the Glads are winning 3-0. You could you could deduct who's gonna win.
Yeah,
just out of watching the time that's left. You could tell when it's gonna go 3-0, or you could tell if it's gonna be a 5-match series.
Just by seeing the time.
Yeah. So I mean, on the Overwatch League website, when they now have this spoiler-free system, that's gonna be pretty cool to see that you don't have to like go into it knowing how long it's gonna be and how many maps potentially it's going to be.
My thing was when you go on YouTube, you check the comment section and they had the map, the
timestamps?
Quick. Yeah, the timestamp, and then at the end it said read more. It said spoilers below, and then it said end after like the third map. You're like, well, great. Now I know someone won 3-0. Oh, 3-1. Oh, somebody. It sucks.
You can deduce it and stuff like that. So yeah, that's nice to see. Again, I plan on watching them live, for the most part.
Same.
But.
Well, yeah, I'm planning on watching them live too,
like,
but I mean,
I'm still gonna watch them.
Yeah. If I'm working, I'm gonna come home and watch the Glads right after.
Yeah, exactly. I remember I would just watch them at work. I watched the the Shock 4-0 Vancouver at work, and I told my coworker, I'm like, listen, they're only 2 maps in, and Shock was up 2-0 at this point, but I was like, it's 2 like gigantic, just huge talent teams, and I honestly think it's going to go a little bit longer. And so we switched positions that day so I could just watch it and not have to worry about customers or anything like that. This was when I was working at the gas station, and 35 minutes into my shift, they'd only played 2 maps, and then 35 minutes into my shift, I came back and I'm like, they're done. And he's like, really? I go, yeah, they got 4-0'd. They got swept. I thought it was going to be much longer.
That's when Architect revealed his superior Bastion Chandelier strat.
Yeah, that was good. That was nasty, but that was good. And we can go into the reasons why Vancouver got 4-0'd that day.
That's a good video. That's a good thing to talk about someday.
We can do, yeah.
Deep dive on Vancouver. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, exactly. And then we can do the same thing for Paris, and the same thing for Valiant, and the same thing for, teams.
What the hell is going on?
Where are we? So yeah, I'm glad that they're upping things with YouTube and stuff like that. And they're their viewing experience in general, just because that kind of stuff's nice. Quality of life improvements and stuff like that. Yeah. Anything else on that? Are we done with the league updates?
I think we're all done. And
all done with the league
get into the
updates.
map review if you want to.
All right, map review. You guys have been seeing it all video. We are talking about Route 66, our collective
favorite map.
Yeah, one of our probably top 3 collectively, and then definitely our favorite escort map. Just
funny,
escort.
I don't know. Dorado's still really up there for me, but I like Route 66 a lot because we have a really, really high win rate on it.
I used to hate Route 66 until I met you two, and that's when it started to become more fun for me, because I think the dynamic of our group and also the players that you play make it a lot more fun and like less challenging, because you know what it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, if you match an energy, like when our energy going into Volskaya, the map we talked about last week, is always, fuck, we gotta play Volskaya, and then it probably the reason we hate that map is because every time we go into it, we say we hate it, and then it just kind of bolsters down, right? We do bad, or we just don't have fun.
Energy when we're going into it.
Yeah, exactly. Like
it's no Kings Row. It's no Route 66. But
still, right? Like we need to keep a positive
hell, it's
energy
even no
about
Paris.
I hated Paris. I don't know about all that. And so but with Route 66, it's definitely my favorite escort map, and I think we came to a conclusion when we talk about escort, we're not talking about hybrid, where there's capture point and then escort. We're talking about just pure escort, right?
Payload right at your spawn door.
Yep.
Route 66, Dorado,
Junkertown,
Junkertown,
Rialto.
maps like that, yeah. Rialto.
This is probably our favorite, but now that he just laid out every map,
I don't know, I kind of like Rialto.
I know.
Okay, never mind, we're doing Rialto this time.
No.
You're switching the background right now. 3, 2, 1, switch. Rialto, let's go.
Are we talking Rialto? Okay, so Rialto. It sucks when you have to first come out the doors, because you get a Lucio booping you off the side, or a ball booping you off the side, or a Roadhog.
But you play a little back, and you catch that bastard as he's trying to get you.
Hack him in, boop him off, or just play high ground. Teleport high ground.
Have a good Widow, just have her sit there and just take shots. They have to back up around the corner.
Exactly. That's what you do on first attack. Now, if you're on first, and then just get them past the corners, because it's so hard to get them past those first 2 corners when you're attacking. But as soon as you get them past that and you get them into the open, you have control of the high ground that is behind you, right? I'm trying to do this. So, control of the high ground behind you.
Was the Sombra map for a second. I had to look it up for a minute.
You're talking Dorado? You thought it was Dorado?
Yeah, I thought it was Dorado.
He called it the Sombra map!
I got it mixed up. I had to look it up.
Because it's Mexican?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No, it's because...
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
Oh my god. Rialto. They all sound the same. It's all the Latin, all the Latin, you know. And so you have control of the high ground. As an attacker, you have control of the high ground and that open space. Now you do get choked in 4 places technically. You get choked in when you come out of your spawn and go right and take the bridge. You get choked in when you just come straight from where the payload goes through. You get choked in if you go through the door, and you get choked in if you go through the back door that's next to the door from the building. If that makes any sense. The ones that are
the worst thing is not a Lucio, but also a hog. Like
oh yeah,
yeah, the
or
hog,
a Orisa or anything
hog.
that's just gonna pull you off.
Yeah, it's
right out the
it's so
spawn door.
stupid.
So on
But
that,
I love about that first point on Rialto is when you actually are able to like get a team fight win and push them back. That sight line that I can get as an Ashe
Yep.
with my little mercy pocket and them just walking back, I'm just like, oh, all right, what are we doing here?
yeah, it's a really good map. I didn't realize how good of a map it was.
Yeah.
Third point attack, those kind of ass, but we'll talk about that. And then so yeah, honestly, actually, I'm thinking it's more defender. I feel like it's a really good defender map. I feel like it's more focused towards defenders, and we saw that a lot. It was like Goat's favorite map to play because of all the corners, and you know when you play Goat, you pull it together and you just go straight forward.
Well, also keep in mind that this map also has 3 defender spawns.
What do you mean by that?
So for example, like take Route 66 for example. There's only 2 defender spawns. When you lose
That's
first
true.
point, you have that same spot,
There, yep.
far spawn.
Yeah, that's true.
Same thing with Numbani. You only have 2 defender
Numbani?
spawns.
Yeah.
But Havana, you get 3. Eichenwald, you get 3. Or Eichenwald's a hybrid map, so I'm going to eliminate that.
Isn't Numbani a hybrid map too?
Dorado,
you have
Dorado, you get 2.
Dorado, you
you get 3.
Oh, you get 3, yeah.
Oh, you do
Yeah.
get 3.
You get the vault,
Yeah,
you
the
get
vault,
the underground inside the
underground,
labs,
yeah,
and then you get the
then
one all the way back.
Yeah.
Isn't Numbani a hybrid map?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, see, he made a boo-boo. And anyway, so I feel like it's more about defenders.
I mean, it's the same idea, though. You get what
yeah.
I'm saying, yeah.
But I would have to
so
agree with you on that one, because if you get a good offensive take on the first point, you can push them far enough on the second. I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think
because
you
of
have an
their
aggressive tank.
early spawns.
Yeah, aggressive tank, aggressive DPS, and you're running some good support people, you can definitely get the better advantage of it.
Yeah, if you compare it to Dorado, if you get early spawned on Dorado, it's not as they
Not
got
as
farther
punchy.
to go.
Yeah.
They got farther. The attackers have farther to go to get to your spawn and kill you. Than dude, if I'm playing Tracer on the first point of
Yeah, because
Rialto, I just run right in, I kill them all, and I run right back.
or like I did one of the last times that we played,
Which was
when I was popping off, and you're like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
are we seeing a resurgence of Tracer main
exactly.
sideways?"
Exactly.
No, but yeah, like right when you take first point, all you gotta do is just walk across the bridge, and then there they all are, right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas Dorado,
Exactly.
when you take first point, you gotta walk all the way around the church, and then the bank vault's like
Yep.
down the street. You know.
And then I say at the very least second point's very defender oriented because they have the corner they can play on, they can play behind.
Mm-hmm.
Now you do have high ground access, but it's actually much harder to get to as an attacker. But you do have
I wouldn't say that. There's 2 ways to get
There's
up there,
2 ways,
even
yeah.
with no.
Are you talking about high ground with the stairs by the
stairs
turning
onto
point, or are you
the-
talking about the one where the second point ends? Because that
Well,
was a
I
really
didn't-
good.
I didn't really think about it. I didn't really think it through, but they have 2 ways to get up there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
in
see,
either
the second
way,
point
you
is
have
good.
bridge above you, and you have
Yeah.
you can go inside too as a defender. So I feel like that's a little bit more. And then if you do end up getting pushed past that U-turn, you have a whole long sight line that you come back as a defender that you can just volley into.
Mm-hmm.
Now that third point capture comes up pretty quick, like surprisingly quick to me at least. I'm like, oh shit, they got it, and they're still like 15, 20 meters away from like where third point looks like it starts, right?
Yeah.
It's like they get it before the wall even ends on that choke point.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I believe so.
They
Yeah.
cap before the wall even ends, and so they still have forward to move and then turn. So that's very odd to me. So that point ends really quickly as a defender. But the third point's also defender oriented, I think. So I think at least my conclusion here is half of it's attacker oriented, like literally half of it. The first point's attacker oriented,
and then like half of the second point,
and then half of the second point, and then the rest of it's all defender oriented because you have those long sight lines, you have the flanks you can go on, you have the easy access to the flanks that they can go on. You have so many places you can just hide. Yeah, I feel like the rest of it's defender oriented for sure. About halfway through, like right before that first curve, which might not be halfway, but do you guys feel the same, or am I by myself? I'm okay if I'm by myself.
I mean,
I
I completely agree. It's
like,
really
for me
like,
personally, I love playing Zen and Ana on that map on offense because you can, if you get a good push, and
no, you like playing Mercy. Don't lie.
Well, Mercy on defense, very, very much so. But when you get a Zenyatta as like an aggressive Zenyatta that can discord and heal well, then you can definitely push really far on that map in a matter of minutes.
He says that I think about every map we've talked about. Zen and Ana is just great on that part of the map, because
I'm gonna say that though, but that's supposed to be just payload. When I go to other maps like 2CP and stuff, I'm gonna say no, go Mercy all the way. Fuck that.
For sure. I'm just messing around with you. But so let's start talking about the comps we use on every point. Pharah for attack on the first point. Pharah for me. Pharah,
unless you're getting countered by a good hit scan, then
then probably Tracer.
Once there,
I do it all the time.
I haven't seen it once.
Pharah Echo.
Ooh, yeah.
I use either one of those.
It's Echo. You go.
Well, it's because I'm better at Echo than I am Pharah. But before we started playing with you, before he started getting only pocketed.
You play Reaper too.
I only play Reaper if they have a hog. I play Reaper a lot if they have a hog. That's the only time I play Reaper is if they have a hog. I don't like playing Reaper outside of that. I don't like playing Reaper on a Winston either. I'd much rather play something like Echo that can get away from him and then copy him. And he's got a really good Echo copy. Like that's a really good synergy right there. Interesting. You have to synergize with the other team. What was I saying? So yeah, I mean, I personally go Echo, Pharah, Tracer if they have a hit scan who's just doming me. You can go behind, you can go in front. We tried sim teleporting one time to the high ground. It didn't work out very well.
No.
It did push them back, however.
It pushed them back, yeah.
And it gave us a little bit of time to get through. But anything that can get to the high ground, really, either quickly or easily, right? Dive tanks are really good. Just to Winston bubble up onto the platform. As far as tanks go, Lucio's really good on attack because he's got all those walls he can ride. Mercy.
As far as supports go.
Yeah. Ashe is really good. Widow's really good. Really good sightlines throughout the whole thing. That's about it for the first point. You guys want to add anything? Nope. Okay.
You covered it all, yeah.
Also, Rein Zarya can work decently well because for the same reason as Goats, those corridors are so small, you're putting so much damage that Zarya will just burst right through with her bubbles. Rein can just push right through. Just depends on how you're playing it and how you personally like to play. If you're a Winston main, it's a good map. If you're a Rein main, it's a good map. If you're a D.Va main, it's a good map. And all these tanks, like the main tanks and the off tanks, you can interchange them, right? Like you can play D.Va Rein for slam shatter or
Slam
shatter slam bomb combo. Or you jump in as Winston, you get the Zarya bubble, right? It's a pretty.
Or what I did last night is Sigma, where I go over the barrier far right and I go behind them to grab them.
Sigma's dead now. Ooh, we didn't talk about that at all.
We talked about it last week.
But just not really a correction, but just an implementation on this one is they did every change that we talked about last week with the experimental. Again, we're a week behind here.
It went through. It's on the live servers now.
Yeah. Ashe isn't as bad as we thought. Sigma is as bad as we thought. Ball's still prevalent, so who cares? Hanzo's I think we've only seen one good Hanzo, and honestly,
But I mean, he wasn't even using his storm arrows that much.
I didn't see
you know?
one kill. Personally, I didn't see one kill from storm arrows. I saw us all getting domed.
Honestly, people are playing a lot of McCree. That's a new hero everyone's getting into is McCree.
Just because we saw the same McCree twice last night.
No, it's not that. No, I've watched streamers saying bunch of, like, you know, they're a lot more people are going to McCree now because not only because of the health buff, but just he's, you know, now Ash is like.
Well, he has a stun.
Yeah, he has a stun.
You know, a hit scan. You know, you got the hit. I mean, you got the.
The nerf.
You got the
The nerf.
The hit scan. You got the stun. Everything.
Yeah. In any case, was there anything else that we missed? Sigma, Ball, Hanzo, Ash.
I think that was it.
That was it. Yeah, we're all. You know, most of it was expected. Nothing unexpected, really. Sigma's a lot harder to play, from personal experience and just from watching people. It sucks because I don't think Sigma's shield was the problem. I think I said this last week. I don't think Sigma's shield was the issue. But it makes sense that they hit it because they have to hit something of his, and I think the rest of his kit works too well. I think the rest of his kit's pretty balanced, except for the fact that they probably need to get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so they had to hit something to make him less playable. Ball didn't really change much.
Can I add that, talking about the second point? I will say that we see a lot of Genji players because the walls are, because it's compacted space. And
yeah,
you can,
I did notice that. Yeah,
as a second. Yeah,
Genji's real good on attack for defense or for on attack for the second point. And you can also play him on the first point too. Tracer again. There's actually a lot less sightlines to be able, but you can fly in behind him. So Echo and Pharah again. The sightlines are a bit choked for long range hit scans because you have all the what the attackers or what the defenders see is one straight line. What the attackers see is a bunch of walls. You know, just the way they come in, the way they're angled and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the defenders can come out from behind the walls and kind of just shift in and out. And so all they're seeing is, well, they're seeing the wall when they're behind the wall, but they can peek through little holes and stuff like that. And then they can come out and just go straight down, and it's like shooting fish in a barrel. When the attackers, if they're on the high ground, all they see is the wall, the room behind, and just kind of what's at an angle in front of them, and it's harder for the attackers to play long-range hit scan. But I feel like that's probably one of the best things to do too, because you have, again, because of all those walls, it's hard to get behind them, in my opinion, as a tracer or a Genji or something like that at the very end, right? So probably like Echo, Pharah, or Pharah and a long range hit scan is probably the best, or McCree, to get to above them, depending on where the defenders, if they're smart or not. The smart defenders are going to defend behind the walls. If they get pushed past the first choke, and they're regrouping and coming back, bad defenders are going to push all the way in and just kind of trap themselves in there. So again, Reinhardt, Zarya, Winston becomes a little less prevalent, but there is an open space for him to just jump into and be behind them and get their backline. So he's not too bad. But Ryan just in that little choke is good. Zarya in that little choke is good. Defender-wise, support-wise, play whatever you want. It probably
this is Zenyatta
benefits Zenyatta or like Baptiste. Because of that small choke, you can throw your fucking ammo up, right? Like I feel like it favors him a little bit. You can go on the high ground. Ana too, high ground healers for sure. I don't know. You're a resident.
By the way,
we can't hear you. Just talk.
Can you hear me?
It was
we
can
can
hear you now. It was weird because I saw you talking, but it wouldn't come through.
I will retract the statement saying that I don't think Zenyatta and Ana were both good because they're both like off healers. I think either if you get an Ana and Mercy or a Mercy Zenyatta, that's what pushes the map really well.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. That makes sense. A lot of healing and also a lot of utility from either Zenyatta or Ana.
Well, Zenyatta, you basically
and-
got a 5th DPS on you.
Pretty much. He still heals though, and he has
Well,
probably the
third
best
DPS.
ultimate in the game. Right? I'm not wrong in saying Zenyatta has probably the best ultimate in the game.
I mean, yeah, it only has really one counter, which is
one
Annie.
counter. Yep.
The anti-grenade.
Well,
Yeah.
no, because I guess you can get countered by a Diva Bomb too.
Yeah, because it's a regeneration ability. It's
And also
not a
tire.
protection ability.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
tire.
tire.
as well.
Tire.
Okay, so one of the best depending on the situation.
Yeah.
One of the best ultimates. But so yeah, that's it for attack, and then on defense, Ryan works really well, Orisa works really well, Zarya works really well. Hog works extremely well because you're kind of choking him into one small point. And then you also have the side of the map to pull him off on if you're playing that far up. Again, smart
Only-
defenders.
Only play Lucio on defense if you're a Reddit Lucio. Besides that, don't try.
Yeah, fair enough. What was I saying? If you're a smart defender, you're defending behind the first wall after they take first point. You're just defending behind that first wall and then the second wall. So where it first turns the corner, right at that wall where the where the room is, where you have easy access to the room, and behind the wall, the little arches, right? You're only defending in those two places because that gives you all the cover. You got the bridge above you. You got the the walls, the rooms. You can go up high ground if you need to. Either place. Sigma was really good because of the tight spaces. But mostly for DPS now, probably McCree would be the best. Keep it mid range. Maybe Soldier if he was shooting up from up top. Ashe is really good up on that up top. Reaper for those closed-in spaces, and to chase, and same with Tracer for the closed spaces and to chase, and probably Baptiste, Mercy for defense because you can protect yourself, get on the high ground. That's my analysis. You guys want to add anything?
Sounds redundant, but no.
That's all I need.
And then third point on attack. Let's see. On attack, it's incredibly hard to get past that choke. It's incredibly hard to get past all three chokes, which is
Are you talking about the first part or
archway,
the second part where you go underneath all the columns?
every part, pretty much every part for the attack is a choke. You got the first archway from immediate. You just took third point. That first archway, you're essentially putting yourself in a choke when you're going through
At the corner.
and then you're putting yourself through a choke again. Now there's multiple
In that
little
final
off.
stretch, yeah.
There's multiple little offshoots for to get behind. When we say choke, it's pretty apparent that pretty much everything is a choke, right? Any small little space is a choke. But we're talking when we're talking big chokes, we're talking that archway where you would normally go in, pretty much where the payload goes in, right? There's not too much different. Zarya Ryan for attack. Zarya Ryan. Winston's really good on this part in particular because the way the map's laid out, it shoots off into two spaces. One that goes back towards where one of their spawn rooms, one of defense spawn rooms on point 2, if you come up a different way, and back towards their spawn room for a third point, if that makes any sense. Kind of looks like an L shape, right? Like I can't get it straight. There you go. And he can jump
That was
behind.
backwards, by the way.
Yeah, but what do you mean backwards? I don't know.
That's L.
Well, I'm just saying L shape. It's all the same shape, right? Just the way it's facing is wrong.
Don't call it an L.
You can jump behind them.
Don't call it an L then.
It's a little hard to jump in the big archway. That's extremely hard to get through as an attacker, and the spawn's so close, you get there like immediately. Zarya to bubble him in. Tracer Reaper is really good to get behind them because there's so many ways. McCree's really good at that too. You can distract him from the front, or you can distract him from the back with a McCree ult. They turn around. If you got a Ryan, they shatter. And then that's it. That's a free McCree ult right there. And I think we should be using that a lot more now that I think about it. And your standard
Ashe.
supports. It's fine. Bob from behind, Shatter.
Yeah.
There you
Not
go.
as effective, but your supports, you can just play whatever. Really. Lucio's really good. He can ride the walls, go high up. Zen's really good for discords, obviously. That's just general
Last
character.
part. It's too compacted. He has to stay far behind for that, and you can't really do that much healing when the card is blocking your path.
Fair enough. Is it fair to say that like maybe Zen or Anna aren't really good to choose on that last one?
Honestly, I would say Brig for Brawl and a Mercy.
I don't know what his thing about Brig is these last few days, but
I can see Brig working. I also think that Lucio is also a good pick.
yeah.
Yeah, Lucio
Like
is
I
also
Because you
for those
can
walls.
wall ride all through there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
as long as you're still touching the payload.
yeah.
Or getting healing to the team.
And
Right, that's-
yeah, that's about it. And then for defenders, again, Orisa reigns supreme there. Sigma back in his heyday was really good. Hog's really good to control every point or every angle. You know, as far as DPS goes, not too many long range work. I think Ashe is the only long range that really works
With dynamite.
because of the dynamite. Because the
just
sight lines, there's
sit in
no
the
high
back.
ground.
And like as everybody's brawling on point, you just throw dynamite in,
Yep.
take a few pop shots.
And because of the way the map's actually laid out, it comes up like this. The first attackers with a wall that they can hide behind, kinda.
Mhm.
But I mean, as dynamite goes in, dude, it's blowing up and it's getting a lot of damage in there. As long as everybody's being held back.
Mhm.
And she can play from way far back. You know where the big health pack is in the room? Just directly right outside that room. I mean, move forward obviously to get the dynamite, but then play back when they're, especially when they're trying to flank and stuff like that. Echo works extremely well because of how, there's no, ceiling, and you can just, go right in there. Junkrat works really well as a DPS, just because you can shoot into that little space when they're first coming in.
Well, and then you said like the whole thing is basically just like one big choke.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. The entire third point for the defenders or for the attackers is just one big choke. There's one way in, and Junkrat's probably the best DPS because he can just trap it off. If you see your trap get destroyed, hey guys, they're coming up the stairs. If they get trapped, hey guys, there's somebody trapped there that might be coming up the stairs. You know what I mean? Easy as that, except Junkrat players are just shoot, 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 throw bomb, shoot, shoot, no aim.
Hey man, you said Junkrat's your favorite hero.
Junkrat is my favorite hero.
Explains a lot.
That's why I'm talking the
With hit
most right
scan.
now. Like, why play hit scan? Except I like to play hit scan, and I do.
Are you
And
good?
then why is he being so mean? He knows I
I
control
can
this
shoot
whole
comments.
thing,
He's
right?
ready to be like, "Oh, he's so mean."
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying why.
I
There's
mean,
so much
to
hate in
be
your
fair,
heart.
we bully him all the time.
Yeah, that's okay though. He's sub bud. See, you get it.
Let's continue the video. Let's continue.
Sorry, but I gotta side with Brainwashed here. You're guilty of
I'm
being
not appearing
sub-bud.
weak on a fucking video chat. Go.
What do you mean appearing
go.
weak?
Just go. Just continue the video.
And healers, it doesn't matter because they don't do anything anyway.
Majority of your wins are from my healing, bud. So calm down. I don't know how many times I have to revive you over sideways.
See, I'm joking, but then he says something serious. How many times did you get revived over me last night?
A lot.
a lot, yeah. Okay, right. That's 1 out of 10 times we play the game.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Are you reviving me because you know that I have the more potential to win the team fight? Or are you reviving me just because I'm dying first?
Mostly that
Because you're
second
an
one,
Ashe,
right?
and that's better for a team fight.
He plays about 4 heroes and he plays them really well. I'll give him that. I play pretty much every hero, and I play them well enough to win.
I can name off more than 4 heroes I play right now.
I want to go
Besides
into it.
Trickster,
Okay.
Ashe.
There's going to be a video up right now that I took on my PS4 that's going over the time he played on every hero. And if he has if he has, and I'm talking about this season. No, we'll go into last season. If he has more than an hour on a hero, more than an hour, mind you, I will count it as a hero he plays.
Oh shit.
All right.
It's gonna be
Fair.
Acid Tracer.
And McCree and maybe Sim. Maybe Sim.
But that's all I'm giving him.
Well, you wouldn't let me play Bastion anymore on Pirate Ship because you want to do it.
Yeah, because it's fun. And
So you can't take Bastion away from
No,
me.
to
play Bastion.
To be completely fair to me, my Sombra is 10 times better than his Sombra. Yes.
Your Sombra was kind of
I
weak
built
the last
all-
time you played on.
Last time, yeah, on Havana, yeah, I kept dying.
The timing with the Diva Bomb was subpar.
Well, that was because he threw out the Diva Bomb and I wasn't ready, and I didn't tell him I was ready. I just tried to get it off.
You said
Plus,
throw
he-
a bomb now.
I did, but I wasn't. But I was, and then he threw it on the high ground. And I tried to get people on the high ground. That wasn't really my fault. I was trying to cover a big area, and he threw it on the high ground on the second point of Havana. That really wasn't my fault.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm actually a Doomfist main.
Oh yeah, Doomfist for all of 5 minutes.
What
What was your time the last time you checked it?
Brain. We'll check his stats after when we're playing.
I'm
Okay.
actually really curious. I probably have maybe. Here's my guess. 8 minutes on Doomfist across all modes.
Okay, picture going in now.
And I don't know what it is, so
don't know what
guess
it
I'll
is.
check it later.
Anyway, we're all shitting on each other. I'm terrible. I get it. He's just mediocre, just equal. I get it. And he only plays 4 heroes, and that's why we're all stuck where we are.
They play 4 heroes.
You
I don't play 4 heroes.
I'm not talking about you, stupid.
Oh. Okay, I was gonna say I don't play 4. I play every healer.
But what healers do you play good?
Mercy, Baptiste,
I'm-
Ana, and Lucio.
I'm telling you, you're like me, but like you're a little bit better. Where you don't excel at any healer, but you play them all really well. You play them obviously better than I can play all the DPS, right? Like at a higher level for obvious reasons. I'm stuck in mid to low gold, and you're in mid to low plat.
Mid-plat.
So
Mid-plat.
so obviously you're a whole you hear him, he has to qualify mid plat. even though I know for a fact his SR is at 26
I mean,
26 flat right now.
I would do the same thing.
2689 right now. It's 2689.
Mid-plat. It's like me. I'm like, low diamond. 3002. Still diamond.
That's the guy who won't get on his regular account has to use his alt account.
I'm not getting on my main account until I know that we're going to win games with a good group.
But
Speaking of which, if you want to play with us, we're on PS4. Go ahead and add us.
and we're obviously in gold plat level.
We're not.
No, I feel like you're really good at the Zen and the Ana. I think that those are the 2 healers that you excel a lot at. And don't get pissed off that I say you don't excel at Mercy, because there's no real excelling at Mercy. There's playing Mercy, and that's about it. Okay, so that's not supposed to be a dig at you. I think your best healers are Ana and Zen. I think you do really well with them.
4. Tell me that I'm not a
Average?
good Mercy.
Average per
I'm not saying that you're not a good
Average
Mercy.
4 depths.
No.
Pretty
Listen to me. I'm not saying that you're not a good Mercy. I'm just saying that it's really easy to play Mercy, and there's no real way for me to except
gauge
for
it.
yeah.
It's probably like the heroes that you showcase the most on are Ashe and Zen.
Yeah, the most
Or not
the most
Ana
time
and Zen.
I
Ana
feel
and
a lot. Yeah, Ana and Zen. I feel the most impact from you on Ana and Zen. It's really hard to feel impact from a Mercy,
sure.
unless you're directly rezzing them. You know what I mean? Like it.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so he can fix his mistakes.
Or just die again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't take that as I'm calling you a subpar Mercy. I'm just saying you play a lot of the healers, but your 2 best are probably Zen and Ana. Now say something nice about me.
You're a good
Cricket.
shot caller.
Thank you. I put up a
game
good
sense.
showing. I put up a good showing on Echo and Reaper.
You have good game sense.
Fuck you. I put up a good showing on Echo and Reaper.
I'm kidding. Yeah, you're good at Echo and Reaper. You come in with those clutch ults all the time.
Oh, unless
That's
I copy
his
the Ana and
Reaper
miss our
is good for his
body.
ult. His
He knows right when to use it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's good at like determining like make sure that Diva's demeched or make sure McCree flash goes out. You know, like those little shots that he calls is what win team fights.
I just want the play of the game. That's the fucking truth. You want to get the truth? I just want play of the game. I don't want to get my shit eaten. I don't want to get flashed out of existence.
Yeah, you stole my shit at Sigma with a junk
I mean,
fire.
Bonnie, he was playing Sigma, and he pulled them all up, and it was 4 of them, and I just came with the Junkrat tire on defense on New Bonnie, and I blew them all up. It was fucking great.
They were all half health. You didn't even have to use your tire during that. I mean, granted, you still won, but it was still like, ugh.
The
Pissed me
BO.
off.
The BO.
Between me and you, you get more plays than me.
Yeah, most of the time.
Yeah.
But I'm playing. But again, like you're a very specified hero who plays a lot of single picked heroes.
Sideways,
or a lot of
Sideways
damage.
has
I
to
play
rely
a
on
lot of
Bob to
flashy
play the games
heroes.
for him.
Not really. When he gets play of the game, a lot of the time,
No.
especially Ash,
does.
he gets the headshots he gets.
Well, like remember on Numbani last night when like I had that 5K. Granted, like it was right after a Rhine slam, but it was like I chased them back to their spawn and got like 2 extra.
yeah.
That wasn't play; it was still a highlight, but I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. No, we all respect each other somewhat. Anyway,
So
that was
analysis?
Rialto. That was the map analysis.
Are we going
A little
to
bit
tell
of
them
BM
about
and-
our secret strats for defense, or are we keeping them? Shh.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't know if we should share them.
I don't know, man. Well, it only works about
Yeah,
25%
most people
of the
know
time.
about. Most people know about it.
Most people know about it already. Okay.
Play Tracer on defense and hide in the bushes.
If you have the sitting around emote, and sometimes it just. All right. So before we were so rudely interrupted by technical difficulties, thanks to me, and we were saved thanks to Sideways.
I'm a god.
Yeah. What we were saying was there's a Tracer strat where if you have the sitting around emote, you can sit in the bushes right behind the payload on Rialto, all the way before they even come in. Okay, 99 out of 100 times they're going to catch you within 30 seconds. Sometimes they just check there, but it's still fun to do. You can shave if they don't know about it. You can shave off a lot of time.
The thing is, the game's gonna kick you though for being inactive. So it's like funny because they're all looking for you, and eventually you gotta jump up, and then you gotta jump right back down.
If I think I caught a team for like 45 seconds the other night, or like at least 30 seconds.
And the only reason why they saw you is because the Zen was looking that direction, and you came up as a target for his Discord.
Is it?
Yeah,
Wow.
I remember watching the kill cam
Damn.
for it, or watching the review, the play for it.
Interesting.
yeah.
Jeez.
So make sure to check those bushes behind when you're playing Rialto on attack,
Or don't,
or don't.
if you play against us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just let us win. It's funny. It's good content. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much the entirety of Rialto. Good map. Obviously, we like it better than Route 66.
Love the map.
We'll do Route 66 one day. We'll finally do Route 66 one day. We got funny strats that we do on that map. It's definitely before I figured out, because I forgot about Rialto and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
I kind of named them all out, and you were like, "Oh, Rialto's good." I'm like, "Yeah, Rialto's good." Switcheroo, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, hope the technical difficulties weren't too much for you guys.
Prior to uploading the video, we did watch it back and make sure everything was there, but we did notice the audio was a little bit out of sync, but hopefully it's not too much to where you guys don't want to watch it or anything. Like,
Listen to it.
Yeah, I still thought we had a lot of good content to talk about.
Exactly.
Some good moments.
We'll try not to let that happen again. Again, it was my fault. Great catch by Sideways. So that's been the end of this episode. We are BS Squared Gaming. This is Sideways. My name's Brainwashed, and that's Sup Bud. Remember, no DPS Moira, only heal please. And you guys have a great night.
Alright guys, this is Sideways from BS Squared Gaming. Thank you for watching. Remember, we talk a lot about Overwatch on this channel, and what can Overwatch be without Cheez-It Grooves? Big flavor, big crunch, baby, everywhere!